All right. What Lonzo thinks is a wide-ranging, free-flowing discussion where I offer my unsolicited views on everything from music, movies, politics, sports, religion, pop culture, you name it. If it's happening, I'm talking about it. My thoughts unsolicited, but I thank you for watching anyway. All right, and I'm back with a special guest, Chris Meck out of Florida. How are you, sir?
Good man, good to be back. You ready?
Good to see you again.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah. So we met a couple weeks ago and we discussed the mock draft for the NFL draft that occurred last Thursday night. So now we're going to kind of reconnect and discuss rounds 1 through 3 and give our thoughts on the draft as a whole. So first of all, what are your initial thoughts in regards to the draft?
Well, I think the biggest news was almost Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
That almost swallowed the draft.
it pretty much did. Yeah. Yeah.
Other than that, I think it was pretty middle of the road. Besides the Chicago trade.
Oh yeah,
Other
absolutely.
than that, there wouldn't really. Maybe I guess Mac Jones to the Patriots, but it was pretty much how pretty much. I think it went pretty much how everyone thought it was going to go.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. But I am going to say this much since you brought it up. This is my opinion, of course. So Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers, if you're out there listening, don't get mad at me. But I think him pulling that stunt on draft night was a bitch move. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't think it was a bitch move. I think it was the King Petty move. I think the
Yeah.
day he found out, the day that Jordan Love got drafted, Aaron Rodgers was like, fuck these guys. I got something for you next year.
Yeah.
And that was the most calculated thing he could have done.
Yeah, and I think the fact that it overshadowed all these kids who, this is their big night, and he basically just snatched all the air out of the fucking building, man. That wasn't right.
Yeah, he made it about him for sure.
Yeah, yeah. So petty as hell, man. And Aaron.
Yeah, it's definitely petty, yeah.
And the thing is, because in the news today, is Terry Bradshaw said that he was weak for doing that.
Yeah.
And I agree with Terry, because if it wasn't for the fact that the exact same thing happened with him and Brett Favre, the exact same thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Just a year off, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. And because he was drafted in the first round when Brett was still there in the prime of his career. I mean, it's the circle of life in the NFL for a quarterback. Eventually, they're going to hire somebody to eventually replace you. That don't mean that you're not great. That don't mean that they don't want you. It just means that when you do leave, we're going to be prepared.
Yeah, it happens. I mean, you can't play quarterback there forever. Someone's got to take your spot.
Exactly.
It's better to be prepared than just throw some rookie out there.
Exactly.
I thought it was weird. I mean, we can go back to last draft. It was weird that they traded up and didn't tell him, whatever. But, I mean, you got to get a quarterback at some time.
Yeah, exactly. Now, was Jordan Love the right pick? That remains to be seen. But everybody had the same reservations about Aaron when he got picked. Nobody knew that he was.
So far.
Yeah. So, Aaron, if you're out there listening, congratulations on your engagement to Shailene Woodley. And it was a bitch move.
Fair enough.
And you were great on Jeopardy, by the way.
Yeah, it ain't my day. The Jeopardy job might have swayed his decision on that as well.
I mean, because he definitely has a future. So it's not like he'll be hurting for opportunities.
I think he really wants it.
I believe so. I mean, he did a great job. So I would love to see him, on Jeopardy, man. Shit, you got enough money. You got a hot Hollywood actress that you're gonna marry. I mean, life is great, man.
You're gonna be living in LA regardless.
Yeah.
Just pick up a TV job.
Yeah, exactly, man. So chill out, dude. You got your Super Bowl ring. You got the hot chick. You got a cushy job waiting on you, man. Life is good.
Boat, man.
Yeah, that's right. Live your best life. All right. So enough about that fool. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into the draft. Now what we're gonna do is we're going to discuss every first round pick, and what I want to do this time is attach a grade 1 through 10, on a scale of 1 through 10. Give your impression of the grade that pick for that particular team and how it's going to particularly impact them, whether or not it was a good pick or bad pick or indifferent.
Sounds good to me.
And we'll also discuss some later round picks, just randomly. But we're going to go through every first round pick. So that being said, with the first pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars selected Trevor Lawrence, number 1.
Never would have guessed.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, what a freaking shock. Of course, this has been preordained. We knew that he was going to be number 1 pick for 3 years now. So Yeah, it was a good pick. Obviously, he definitely has all the tools. He has all the hype. He has everything going for him in regards to being that number one pick. He did earn it through his performance in college. Um, I don't think that he's the slam dunk that everybody says that he is. You know, and the fact that he says that he doesn't love football is a red flag.
Yeah.
I see this as Andrew Luck 2.0. So
Andrew Luck won a lot of games.
and Trevor Lawrence has not lost a regular season game in his life. So he's gonna do a lot of losing. Gonna get hit hard and often.
Barry.
Playing for a crappy team. So
Barry.
I give the pick a 10, obviously. But I don't think he is going to end his career in Jacksonville. What are your thoughts?
Pretty much the same. Of course, it's a 10. And who else are they going to pick?
Yeah.
Especially for them, they need a quarterback. I don't think Minshew is going to be the guy of the future. I'll be surprised if I even hear his name again. So yeah, I think that's easy. Of course, that's the guy. There's the best guy on the board. They got him. Good job.
Absolutely. Now, fun fact: the day before the draft, they worked out Tim Tebow. There's that name again. Tim Tebow, the dude who won't go away. They worked him out at tight end. So, if they were to sign Tim Tebow, does that mean that the apocalypse is now upon us?
Well, I think it just shows. We talked about how before, like how Urban is going to run this team. I think all the questions have been answered right there. He has no idea. He's like,
exactly.
You from Floyd, from Ohio State, come over here. Let's try to run this back. And this shit ain't gonna work. Like, let's just be real. I mean, I'm a big fan of Skip and Shannon, Undisputed. Shannon was talking about Tim Tebow had the opportunity to be a fullback, a tight end, and a quarterback in the NFL. He chose not to. He wanted to be a baseball player because he was not doing great at football. Now he's back in football. Tim Tebow does not like playing sports. He likes fame.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And he's going to hijack it every chance he gets. So if they were to sign Tim Tebow, that place would be a fucking circus.
Yeah, well, first off, Trevor's not going to be the guy they want to talk to in the media. It's going to be Tim Tebow.
Yep. And let Trevor have a bad game.
Oh, yeah. You can hear the crowd now. Tebow.
Exactly. Come on. Would they run some gadget plays where Tim gets back at quarterback or something? I mean, come on, man. Urban, let it go, man. Don't do it, man.
Just let it go.
Fight the temptation, man. He's washed up. He sucked as a football player. He sucked as a baseball player. Now he's going to suck as a football player again. What's next, man? NBA?
Maybe.
I can see it. I can see it now. Tim was going to hold a press conference saying, my true love has always been basketball.
Yeah, so I started when I was a child. I just never really could commit to it, but now I can. Like, all right, whatever, Tebow.
Yeah, exactly. Next thing you know, but really, me and my family lived in Canada for 1 year when I was a kid, so my love is actually hockey.
Yeah, I picked it up. It's fun.
I'm 62 years old, but I'm joining the NHL. Come on.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so Trevor's a 10, Tim's a 0.
Yeah, good way to put it.
All right, with the second pick in the NFL draft, the New York Jets selected Zach Wilson, quarterback out of BYU. Now, I've made it abundantly clear my feelings on Zach Wilson. I think this is one of the worst number 2 picks in the history of the NFL draft. He's gonna be a fucking bust, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't buy into him at all. And there's a lot of reasons that we talked about this a little bit in our mock draft show a couple of weeks ago. So I'm gonna kind of regurgitate some of this. So please bear with me. Zach Wilson in his college career had mediocre stats. I mean, they were fine, but no better than the quarterback in Northern Illinois.
No.
He lost to Coastal Carolina, Toledo, San Diego State, Hawaii, and 5 other teams. Okay? But for some reason, somehow, he's the second best quarterback in college football. When, where, why, and how? I didn't understand it before. I still don't understand it. This is a terrible pick. It gets a negative 1 million on a scale of 1 to 10. The New York Jets know what the hell they're doing.
Well, they don't know what they're doing. That's the point.
Exactly. So this is a terrible pick, man. So go.
Yeah. I was about like 9%. He's gonna suck. 10% maybe. And then he posted this picture. It was like a bathroom selfie himself before the draft.
Did he really?
And I was like, man, I'm bigger than that dude. I was like, this kid looks like he's 12 taking a mirror selfie. I mean, that's exactly what he was doing. So I went from 90-10 to like negative 200-0. Absolutely, this guy's gonna get crushed. And honestly, yeah, negative 1 million because they should have just picked up the fucking offensive tackle and, picked up, I don't know what they should have done, but he ain't gonna do it.
Exactly. And Jets front office, if you're out there listening, I was available. Hell, you could have picked me for no one.
Hey.
What's the difference?
Hey, listen, I was back up in 11th grade.
Exactly. You're going to get the same results. Oh, fun fact. I learned this a couple days ago, I guess during the draft. Zach Wilson comes from a lot of money. His family owns JetBlue.
Yeah. Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, his family owns.
He had some money, but I didn't know he had that much money.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Well,
So,
things tend to work out like that way. So
yeah, I think the first time.
Makes a lot more sense now.
I think the first time that he gets a ruptured spleen after getting hit.
At least he got a new one, I guess.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, fuck this. I got money.
Yeah.
He's from Utah. So you think he's Mormon or?
I think he is. Or he's at BYU. He's got to be Mormon, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Because, I think that's like a thing. Did he go on as missionary, though? I think he just played 4 straight years.
Yeah, I think he just did missionary position. I don't know if he actually went.
I don't think he really did. Yeah. I remember back in the day, the BYU players, they would be like the oldest guys in the draft. They
They sent him out for a couple years and knock on doors. Yeah. So I don't know if he did or not. He looks really young. So if he did his mission, he might have done it, when he was like, I don't know, in the 10th grade or something. I don't know.
I don't think he did shit. I think his dad checked the BYU and said, please take my son. We're broke anyways, might as well.
Also, did you see the photo of his mom?
I don't think I saw that, no.
Smoking hot.
I can imagine, yeah.
Smoking hot.
Yeah.
Folks were asking, like, was that his girlfriend or was it sister? But that was his freaking mom. She is a knockout, dog.
Yeah, shout out to her.
Yeah, shout out to mom. So he comes from he comes from money. His family owns JetBlue. His mom is a MILF. He's from Utah, and he's going to New York. That's a toxic mix, man.
What did I say last time? Johnny, a broke man's Johnny Manziel?
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess he's a poor man's Johnny Manziel 2.0.
Yeah, exactly. So Zach Wilson, if you're out there listening, you will be a commentator on the BYU network in about 4 years. So.
Well, I don't know. He can do his missionaries, maybe not.
That too. He'll be throwing passes to pygmies out in the outback.
Yeah.
All right. So enough about that fool. Next up, the third pick with the San Francisco 49ers is Trey Lance out of North Dakota State. Now, if the Zach Wilson pick was bad, this is just as bad. I give this one a minus 500,000. Because you cannot convince me. Okay. Now, one thing about football, and you might agree with me here. If you're good, especially in college, if you're good, somebody's going to find you. A D1 school is going to find you, and they're going to recruit you, and they're going to sign you. Somebody in D1 is going to find you. Nobody in D1 wanted this kid. He went to North Dakota State, okay, balled out against high school level competition in college.
Yep.
Okay. He played, one full season?
Yes, 1 full season and 1 game.
For the best, for the best lower level college program, because somebody's got to be number one. So he did play for the best program in that division. What? That's D2? Is it D2?
I think so. Yeah. D2.
He hasn't played against any real competition. He never thrown passes against a 5-star cornerback or an NFL level cornerback.
Not even a 2-star.
Yeah, exactly. You're playing against the guys from Last Chance University.
Yeah, man. I'm a Tech fan. We suck, but shit, we steamrolled North Dakota State.
Exactly, man. He's never faced an NFL defensive line or linebacker. He never faced a Power 5 defensive line or linebackers.
I mean, shit, Zach Wilson's played against better people than he has.
Exactly. So, I know the whole Carson Wentz thing is probably why they picked him. They're trying to catch, because they went to the same school. They got to be just as good. No.
Worked out.
No. This is a terrible pick.
Carson Wentz worked out pretty good.
Yeah, he did. And that's one of the things that really kind of
sarcastic. I don't think it worked out very good at all.
I mean, he had a couple years where he, I gotta give props where props is due. He did play pretty well for a couple years. He sucks now,
Yeah.
The league caught up to him. They figured him out.
Yeah.
So he had his lightning in a bottle, got paid and everything. But one of the things that really one of my pet peeves about college football is how people equate what someone else did to your skill set. Just because you went to the same school that Carson Wentz went to, that don't mean that you have the same skill set as Carson Wentz.
Man, like, I wish I had some of the skills that people I went to high school with.
Me too.
Yeah. Right,
Exactly. That's like, okay, you went to North Carolina, you played basketball in North Carolina, you must be as good as Michael Jordan.
Right, yeah.
Come on.
That's how it works, right?
Yeah. It's that simple. If life was that simple, man, then everybody would go to North Carolina and and be the best basketball player ever and be a billionaire. So, life is not that simple, y'all. So Trey Lance, I think this is a colossal mistake by San Francisco because San Francisco has a Super Bowl quality roster.
Yeah, they're ready to win.
Yeah, and they definitely were, a quarterback away from being a serious Super Bowl contender again. Now, I'm not saying they should have drafted a quarterback at all. If I'm San Francisco, I would have bet the house, the boat, and everything that came with it to get Deshaun Watson, or since Aaron Rodgers is available, Aaron Rodgers. They don't need a rookie quarterback.
Trying to get Rodgers, and I think that's when he got mad.
Oh, really?
I think the Packers shut the trade down, and that's when he got upset.
He's from the Bay Area anyway, right?
Yeah, I heard San Francisco was actually pushing for him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
and then Green Bay shut that down.
Well, they should have been a little bit more aggressive, man, because, good Lord. Because, with a roster of that caliber, you don't need a rookie quarterback because you're not going to win with a rookie quarterback this year or next year.
Well, they're keeping Jimmy, so Trey's not even going to play.
Yeah, exactly.
Just set yourself up for the future, but that's not a future team. It's a win now team.
Exactly. So if anybody needs to trade for Deshaun Watson or another starting, or even Matt Ryan, someone, a starting level quarterback.
Play 5 games.
Yeah. So it's inexplicable to me. So yeah, minus 500,000. All right. Anything else you want to add on Trey Lance before we move on?
I guess I'm not that low on him. I guess it is a good spot for him because they did commit to Jimmy, he's at least going to be there next year. If they were just going to throw him in, I think that's why Shanahan wanted Mac Jones so bad. I think he wanted to draft Mac Jones, throw him in the Heat, let him go, and then trade Jimmy. I guess the GM decided otherwise. Or he didn't get Rodgers and said, I guess we're going to go for the future. So I don't hate it as much as you do just because I know he's not going to start off the bat. He probably just said, well, he might have to start in like week 7.
Yeah, because Jimmy
gets out.
Yeah,
so,
he'll get hurt. So.
All right, so maybe I'm like negative 100 on that then. Because he's going to get thrown in the fire for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. He'll get beat to sleep.
Yep.
Okay. All right. With the number 4 pick, the Atlanta Falcons select Kyle Pitts, tight end out of Florida. Why? Just why? 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 I've made it clear that the Falcons are in full rebuild mode. The Falcons are not going to win a thing next year.
I'll tell them that because they don't think so.
They're not going to win a thing. So why do you need a tight end? Why? I don't get it. You had so much trade bait and trade capital with that number 4 pick that you could have had a massive haul to basically remake your team. But instead, you're going to select Kyle Pitts and ruin him. For what? To finish third instead of fourth in the division?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Let me kind of get this out in the open here. I know it's a sore subject for some people, but I'm gonna get this out in the open. Okay. All right. On February 5th, 2017, at 10:42 p.m. Central Standard Time, the Atlanta Falcons franchise, as we know it, died. Okay?
Pretty much.
And they've been suffering from PTSD since that moment.
It's been a long road.
And it's been downhill since then. After the Super Bowl, the following season, they went 10-6, lost in the playoffs. Next 2 seasons, 7-9. Okay? Now, there's a common denominator here. Julio Jones is still there. Matt Ryan is still there. So if you're regressing with Matt Ryan and Julio Jones, do you honestly believe that Kyle Pitts is going to turn the tide? And they're 4 years older. They got 4 more years of miles on them. They're not going to get any better. Okay? There's only one Tom Brady. Matt Ryan is not Tom Brady. He is not going to get better as he gets older. He's going to get worse and worse and worse. Why is he still there?
I had to think about this for a long time. The only conclusion I can come up to is they just cannot find anyone to take that money. No one wants to pay that $100 million for Matt Ryan. And so they've had to lock themselves. They had to come to the conclusion, like, do we want to draft a guy and him get upset that he's not going to play for another 2 years because we cannot have a backup making $100 million? Or do we get the best player on the board? And they chose to get the best player. As soon as they got Kyle Pitts, that means Matt Ryan is our quarterback for this year and next year, 100%. Not going anywhere.
And you're going to lose this year and next year, 100%.
Most likely.
Yeah.
And so they picked up Kyle Pitts. He'll be young. He's going to be young for a while. We got him for, at least 5 years. So, best case scenario, I know we just picked up Ridley's 5th year today, which will probably extend him next year. So I guess my thoughts on it is we got Ryan, 1 more 2. We'll draft next year. We'll probably draft a guy. He'll sit. I don't know who we're gonna draft next year. But maybe in 2 years we'll draft him and just throw him in the fire with an experienced Ridley and a 3-year vet and Pitts. I think that's the plan. Is just ride Matt Ryan out until he's ready to retire, or at least 2 years until they can cut him and they don't kill him in the cap. So I mean, Kyle Pitts is gonna be a beast. Like he said, he might go from 4th to 3rd. Yeah, we will, because he is gonna win some games. So he is going to be a game changer. He is going to be an excellent tight end. He's going to be a beast. And I love how he changed his number to number 8. No one knows where he's at. If he puts on the outside, he's on the inside, you're like, who the hell is that guy? Love that. I just think the Falcons have decided, okay, Kyle Pitts and Calvin Ridley are our main focuses right now. We're going to build our future around them. And Matt Ryan's just going to have to flirt them for 2 more years. It kind of sucks, but, it is what it is.
Okay, there's a wild card here, man, that we need to consider when it comes to Kyle Pitts. Last year, he got hurt twice.
Yeah.
Okay? So, he's injury prone. He missed games last year.
Do not have the best, the team to deal with injuries. A lot of guys get hurt all the time.
Exactly. Now, Kyle played in the SEC, which is basically NFL 2.0.
Yeah, it's the starter league for the NFL.
Exactly. And he got hurt twice. So, I can see it now. Going across the middle, Matt Ryan throws high, knees gone, out. I love Kyle.
Don't put that on us, man. Don't put that on us.
I'm just saying, man, I love the skill set. He is definitely a beast. He has all the tools to be a top-notch tight end, but I just see him having a star-crossed career, an injury-plagued, star-crossed career, because regardless how big he is and so on and so forth, you're going to be going over the middle a lot as a tight end.
Yeah.
Okay? You're going to be covered by linebackers. I mean, you're gonna take some shots. You're gonna take some shots.
Linebackers, the hardest hitting guys in the field. That's who you're going against.
Yeah, yeah. You know, and once again, you're playing in the SEC South. You're playing in the NFC South. So, so I don't like the pick. I give it a 1. Just because I'm not a GM, but me, I would have dangled him, and you would have gotten somebody to move up, and you would have got extra draft picks and everything, a lot of draft capital, and it's kind of hard because you're not gonna outscore everybody. You couldn't do it last year.
No, they're not. It's impossible.
Yeah. So adding Kyle Pitts is not going to.
Yeah, when the defense is up 35, you can't expect them to put up 42 a game. It's just not real.
Exactly, man. So, it just doesn't make any sense to me drafting a tight end. A tight end.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna give it a 1. I'll give it a 5 just because I'm biased. But my prediction for Kyle Pitts, I think this year and next year he's gonna be really good because I think Matt Ryan's just gonna feed him. We're gonna bring in a new quarterback. Kyle Pitts is going to have terrible in the last 2 years on his contract. We cut him. He becomes a great Hall of Famer somewhere else.
Who knows? Maybe they'll sign Zach Wilson after he gets cut from the Jets.
I think I just probably burned his head on the top of my head.
Well, hey, the Panthers took Sam Darnold, so so the NFC South is the halfway house for rundown New York quarterbacks. So.
Anyway, the Buccaneers got their quarterback for the future too, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, they got Kyle Trask, right?
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, pick number 6, Jalen Waddle from Alabama to the Miami Dolphins. Now, this is a good pick. Miami is a team that's right on the cusp of being really, really good.
Yeah, they are.
Tua had an up and down rookie year, but the team is his now. So I think with the full training camp, full mini camp and everything, chance to kind of, take the reins of the team and really, really immerse himself. I think offensively, Miami is going to be really, really good. I think they're going to win the AFC East. And I think this team will be a perennial playoff team over the next 5 to 6 seasons. With someone like Jalen Waddle, who is a deep threat, who can catch. I see.
We got Parker, too.
I'm sorry?
Still got Devontae Parker, too.
And they got Devontae. So I see this. This is a potentially prolific offense. The only thing the Dolphins really need to do to make sure that they're good is get better uniforms. So I hate that color, man. So I give this pick an 8.
Yeah, I don't think he's necessary. I think they want to chase. I think they're kind of. Wait, did we skip the Bengals? We skipped the Bengals.
Oh, we did. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. My bad. Reboot.
I was getting ready to say, I think they want to chase us.
Reboot. Okay, let's back up a little bit. All right, with the number 5 pick, the Cincinnati Bengals selected Jamar Chase out of LSU. This is a terrible pick because Joe Burrow already has one leg, so next season he's going to have no legs because they needed an offensive lineman in the worst way to protect their stud quarterback, who is no longer going to be a stud quarterback because his knee's going to be bone on bone. Yeah. So this is a terrible pick. What good is Jamar Chase if if Joe Burrow's on his back most of the game? Terrible pick. I give it a 1. Go.
I guess they tried to bring in some linemen on the offseason, but I also don't think they drafted one until the 3rd or 4th round, I believe. This is the definition of a poorly ran organization.
Yes, I agree.
You want superstars, but not a winning team. A winning team, you got to keep your fucking quarterback on his feet. And they're just not doing that. Like, I get it. I'm sure Burrows is happy. So he's like, oh, well, my friend's back. Yeah, but he's not going to be happy when he can't even complete a pass to him. He's just getting sacked left and right. Or he's on the ICU getting treated for a broken leg.
Yeah, Joe.
I agree. That's a terrible pick. I mean, great player.
Yeah.
Terrible pick for the Bengals.
Terrible pick for the Bengals. Terrible. So they'll be 2-14 or 2-15 next season. They'll be picking number 1 again. And they'll be picking a quarterback because Joe Burrow will be decapitated by.
Oh yeah.
And you know what, man?
Even if he survives, they'll probably draft like some safety or something.
I really don't see him surviving because I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I saw a lot of I watched a lot of the Bengals games last year. I honestly felt sorry for Joe Burrow. I felt sorry for him. He got beat to sleep. Yeah. Jesus, man.
I mean, it was tough to watch those games. Like even his highlights for him getting sacked.
Exactly, man. Like, and I think I read his lips in one game, man, when he came back to the sideline. I think he sacked 3 plays in a row. And I read his lips. He was talking to his coach, and I think he said, "Can I go back to LSU?"
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame him. It's not going to get any better. It's not going to get any better for him.
No, not at all. So Jamar Chase, congratulations on getting selected and reaching your NFL dreams. And I'm sorry, but
see you in 4 years.
It sucked. Exactly. Now back to Jalen Waddle. So go.
All right. So, I think they definitely wanted to get Chase. I think they expected the Bengals to pick up a name. But I'm glad they got Waddle and not Devontae Smith.
Why is that?
Waddle's bigger. I think he's just more NFL ready, and they need that guy right now. Devontae Parker's going to be number 1. Preston Williams is a big guy. He's always hurt. For anyone who doesn't know, I live down in South Florida, so Myers kind of became my second team. I keep up with him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They got Mike Gesicki at tight end, pretty solid.
Yes.
Devontae Parker on the outside, big guy.
Yeah.
And Preston Williams, the other guy, who's I think he's like 6'8", ginormous human being.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't stay healthy. You know, you're that big, the knees that just get cut out real quick. So they needed a guy on the outside. Now they got in the slot because they got Will Fuller. They brought him in. He's going to be in the slot. So I think Waddle was definitely the best pick because he can go outside the numbers. They got Parker, Waddle, Fuller, and now Gesicki. They really set 2 up with the best options you could possibly have right now. Like so, I mean, I respect them for like they drafted a quarterback like last year. Didn't give up on him. Well, kind of. They benched him a couple times. They had to win some games. It's understandable. But like they've always said, like, you know, Tua's our guy. The media always says, you know, Dolphins going after Watson, Dolphins are going after whatever. But the team has always said, no, Tua's our guy. Tua's our guy. Tua's our guy. And I think bringing in Waddle, you know, guys like to play with, getting them some help, that just shows the commitment they have to Tua. And they're building a team around him. The defense is already nasty. So great fit for the Dolphins. Great.
I agree 100% with everything you said. And like I said, I'm picking them to win the AFC East. I am all in on the Miami Dolphins. I'm all in on everything about the Miami Dolphins except for those fucking uniforms. Good Lord. Good Lord.
It's Miami, baby. It's
Miami. All right. Next up, pick number 7, Penei Sewell, offensive tackle out of Oregon. This is the guy that Joe Burrow should have gotten. This is who the Bengals should have picked. But he goes to Detroit instead, so Jared Goff gets some protection. In Detroit, he's going to need it. This is a great pick. It's rare that an offensive lineman is a bust in the NFL. So this is probably, and all the experts say it now, I agree with them, this is probably the safest pick of all the number 1 draft picks. This guy, even if he has a bad season or so, will still be of some value because he's an offensive lineman. I mean, you can move him around. If he doesn't work out at tackle, you put him at guard. There's just so much versatility you can get out of an offensive lineman. So it's hard for them to be bust because, you know, you coach them up and they're at least going to give you some value somewhere. So I think this is as long as he keeps his head screwed on straight, he'll be just fine. This is a great pick for Detroit. And I give this pick a 7.5.
Yep, I pretty much agree. It's definitely not a sexy pick. But nothing really that the Lions could have done would have been sexy. They have so many holes that it's impossible to fill all of them in one draft.
Yeah.
But at least this guy, you know for a fact, he's going to be a stud on the line. He's going to protect your quarterback for years and years and years to come.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, next up, pick number 8, J.C. Horn, cornerback out of South Carolina. The Panthers selected J.C. Horn. I don't think this is a good pick. I think I would have picked Patrick Surtain before J.C. Horn. Obviously, he's an SEC guy, so I saw him play a lot, and and I mean, he was fine, but he wasn't. You know, I mean, he wasn't a shut. There was nothing about him said this is going to be an NFL shutdown corner. He'll be a solid guy, but I don't think he's someone who was worthy of a this high of a pick in the draft. I see him getting burned a lot. I didn't like his tackling. I think his cover skills are adequate, but not Revis Island type or Jalen Ramsey type of a shutdown corner. So for a team that they had a lot of needs, especially with Sam Darnold coming in, and you have Christian McCaffrey, who can't stay on the field. I think he's pretty much washed up because he stays hurt now. I think they really needed more help on the offensive side of the ball, but so I don't like this pick. I give it a 3.
I'm a little higher. I'll probably give it I'll give it a 5.5. I think JC Horn has a high ceiling. I don't think he's ready right now. I think he's got all the physical traits to be a good corner. I think it needs a little more work. But I think that DB is something that Carolina needed. They could have got offensive line. I think that probably would have been smarter.
Yeah.
Patrick Surtain, I think, is more NFL ready right now.
Yeah.
I think possibly J.C. Horn could be better in the future. So if they want him to start tomorrow, they should have got Surtain. If they want to work with him, build him up, I would say it's probably the best pick. But I think regardless, I think I would want offensive tackle. I think I would have got Slater from Northwestern, or where that guy from Michigan or something like that. But I mean, it's not terrible. I mean, it's not a bad pick. It's just kind of.
Well, are you ready to break out into a cold sweat?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'm going to tell you who J.C. Horn reminds me of, and this will bring shivers to your spine. He reminds me of Robert Alford.
Did he commit a lot of penalties? I haven't watched a lot of tape on Horn, so I don't really know. Is he a penalty machine?
I think he's going to be Robert Alford 2.0. He's going to...
Cut his ass down.
He's a walking PI.
Cut his ass down.
I think Robert Alford has like the most pass interference penalties in the history of NFL.
Man, he cannot stop.
No, he couldn't. Yeah. How was this guy? How this guy? How was he an NFL cornerback? He couldn't guard anybody. He grabbed everybody.
If he grabbed him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every play. Man, you know.
You see that drill that the Giants were doing last year? He was taping the tennis balls to their hands.
Oh, really? No, I didn't.
Robert Alford needed to be one.
So J.C. Horn, if you're out there listening, I'm sorry, dude. I call him like I see him, so I'm sorry. All right, next up, Patrick Surtain, number 9 goes to the Broncos out of Alabama. This is a solid pick. This is where I think the Panthers should have gone, like you said, with Patrick Surtain. Good pedigree. He's out of Alabama. Nick Saban coaches the DBs at Alabama. So this guy was a shutdown guy. He played great in college. I see him being a top level corner and playing for the Broncos in the AFC West. You need shutdown corners. You need great cornerback play because you're gonna be facing Patrick Mahomes twice a year, and you're gonna be facing Derek Carr, and you definitely need cornerbacks in that division. So this is a solid pick. This is not what I would have done if I was Denver, but it is a solid pick. So I'm fine with it. I give it a 6.
Solid player, solid pick. He's day one ready. He's gonna go in there. Yeah. He's gonna be on the field. But I call this I hope Aaron Rodgers is coming to play quarterback next year, because that is the only thing I can think of when they pick this pick instead of Justin Fields, who just goes right down the list. This just screams that they were talking to Aaron. Like, I don't get it. They had a pretty middle of the road defense last year. He's gonna be good for sure. Great pick. I just don't think for them he was the right pick. I think they're rolling the dice on Aaron Rodgers, and we'll see if it lands. But if they do get Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Sand, one of the best picks in the draft, because they just they got the best corner, and now they got the best quarterback. But if they don't, then Drew Lock and Teddy are battling out with that middle of the road defense. They haven't got any better or any worse. They're just still stuck in the mud.
Yeah, and obviously that was rumored that Aaron Rodgers was in play with them. So they, like you said, they better know something that we don't know. They better have something on the back burner that's gonna push this thing through. Because you can't win every game 14-13. You're gonna have to score some point, and you're not gonna score points with. Yeah.
Yeah, if Teddy and Drew go out there and just stink it up next year, there's going to be a lot of pissed off Broncos fans.
Yeah, there's going to be one fired coach.
Yeah.
So, Vic Fangio, nice knowing you.
Yeah, hopefully it works.
All right, with the 10th pick out of Alabama, Devontae Smith goes to the Eagles. I'm in the middle of the road on this pick. I'm going to give it a 5.
Yeah, that's about right, man.
I like the fact that a lot of folks are comparing him to Deshaun Jackson. I don't see the comparison with Deshaun Jackson except for the fact they're both skinny. I see him more like a Marvin Harrison type. Yeah, Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne type. There's obviously the big controversy with Devontae is the fact that he's 160 pounds soaking wet.
Yeah.
But once again, as we know, he played in the SEC, which is once again NFL 2.0, and he stayed relatively healthy. So I think he's up to it. I don't think he's gonna. I don't think his size is going to hurt him as much as people think it is. What I think, if anything's going to hurt him, is Jalen Hurts not being accurate and hanging him out.
Yeah.
And him taking shots. So I think.
Yeah, that could happen, man.
So this is really on the offensive coordinator to put in a package to where, Jalen is having easy throws, and not putting his team in position, putting his receivers in positions where they're going to get hung out to dry and get myrtleized by safeties and linebackers. So, go.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the fence too. I love Devontae as a player, and I think Calvin really wasn't the biggest guy coming out of the draft. But that elite route running, it makes a difference in the NFL. When you can just get out there and you can cut like that, you can get open. You don't have to get pressed like that. You can get open. I just don't know if I like him at the Eagles. And I definitely don't get the Deshaun Jackson comparison. I mean, Deshaun Jackson could, he could disappear like that.
Yeah.
He's so fast.
Yeah.
Devontae Smith has got some good speed, but he's not blazing.
No.
He's a precision route runner, and he's really, really, really good at that. But also Jalen Hurts wasn't throwing those routes.
No.
Tua was. So, to me, I think I agree. It's going to be up to the OC how Will Smith does. He is small. He's not the biggest guy. And if he takes one big shot from, who knows what happens.
Let me ask you a
question.
question.
I think he's very, the guy won the Heisman. He's good. He's very good.
Let me ask you a question. Do you ever recall seeing Devontae Smith catch a crossing pattern across the middle while at Alabama?
Well, if he did, he was in and out in a quick.
Yeah, if they're playing, if they're playing Arkansas State, of course. But in SEC games, I don't recall him running any type of, any seam routes, anything that took him across the middle.
Comebacks, he's doing outs.
Yeah. He's running go routes. And he was running free most of the games anyway. He's not gonna be running free in the NFL. Jalen's gonna have to throw in the tight windows, and there are gonna be some circumstances where he's gonna have to fight for balls or be ready to take some shots. So I think that's gonna tell the tale when it comes to this kid. I just hope he don't get decapitated. So
yeah, I wish the Eagles didn't get him. That's pretty much is where I'm at.
Yeah, because I think Jalen, if anybody needed a big you know, possession type receiver, a big guy,
Exactly.
is
Exactly.
Jalen.
Yeah, they need a big guy.
Yeah.
They need.
So
I
this
just
would
don't see how he fits in the scheme.
no.
And I don't know. I just
Now
wish he would have gone there.
I think this would have been a good place for the Falcons to fleece somebody. The Falcons could have fleeced the Eagles, gave them number 4 in Kyle Pitts, and probably taken the rest of their draft.
Yeah, traded him the 10th and Ertz and next year's first. Shit, they would have bought that probably.
Yeah. And you would have gotten, once again, because the Eagles are not going to win next year, but at least you could have gotten Jalen someone to kind of try to build around. So,
I mean, they might. If they win 5 games, they could win the whole division.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, that's right. You know, you go what? It's gonna be 17 games next year, so you go 4-13 and win the divisions.
Hey, you're in it, right there in it.
That's a shame. All right, here we go. Pick number 11. Chicago Bears select. They traded up and they selected Justin Fields, quarterback out of Ohio State by way of Georgia, the best quarterback in the draft. This is a monumental move for the Chicago Bears. I think it's a great pick because they are a playoff caliber team that just needed a quarterback, and they got exactly who and what I think they needed to most likely win the division if Aaron Rodgers is not playing quarterback for the Packers next year. I once again, I'm a Justin Fields fan. I've made no mistakes about it. So I'm not saying that I'm biased, but I am biased because I just feel that he is the best quarterback in the draft. I see superstar potential written all over him, especially in a town like Chicago. Chicago has never had a stud quarterback ever. Ever. So.
Yeah, you're talking about like the greats. What? Who? Jay Cutler.
Exactly. So, way I see it, man, Justin is playing with house money because there's a couple factors here. A, he's expected to be the savior. B, if he's not the savior, Matt Nagy is going to take the fall. So I think Justin is a position where if he does suck, everybody's going to blame Matt Nagy, fire him, and bring somebody else in. But if he's great, or if he's even good, then he saved Matt Nagy's job. He saves the city of Chicago.
He will be the hero.
Yes, he will be a mega star, and he will get to nail every hot chick in the greater Chicago area.
And the state above South.
So, Justin, it's a win-win, dude. Just go out there, man. Get in the playbook. Andy Dalton is going to help you be the best you can be. He's a consummate pro. He has experience. He's going to help you. Get in the books. Learn. Trust your ability. Matt Nagy is a good offensive coach.
Yeah.
So it's really inherent on them to put together an offense that utilizes his skills. I see him being Deshaun Watson, type magnificent.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. And his ceiling is definitely high. And I think the fact that he got passed over by Zach Wilson and by, what's his name, Trey Lance, is that extra motivation for him? Yeah. So I hope he plays with a chip on his shoulder, and I hope he eviscerates the league. I think this is a great pick for the Chicago Bears. I give it a 10.
Go. Yeah, great pick, great trade. I mean, they did exactly what they needed to do. He's going to be, he's set up right now. He could possibly be the best quarterback in the, NFC North?
Yeah, NFC North, yes.
So, he could potentially be the best quarterback in that division for a long time.
Yeah.
If Rodgers is gone. I would proceed with caution if I were the Bears. I would not don't throw him out there. Let Dalton get out there and, do his thing for 4 or 5 weeks. Build him up. I don't want to see Fields get thrown out there because he's already got so much hate on him. Everyone's already expecting him to fail. They think he was a bust. Was the last guy in, first guy guy out.
Yeah.
So don't set him up for failure. Don't throw him out there with the killers and just run that offense. let Dalton, do his thing for a couple weeks. Let the fans get into it. Let Fields learn the offense. Get used to the team. Get used to his players. Let him do his thing, and then he will have success. I think if they throw him in week 1, I'm skeptical. I think he might could do good, but I don't know. I just really hope they don't throw him into the fire immediately. Let Dalton get in there, lose a couple games, and then bring in Fields.
Okay, ask you a question. On a scale of 1 to 10, what are the odds that Georgia spread those rumors about his work ethic?
Oh, I mean, when you look at it in the bigger picture, Mitch's ass is gone to Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
He got traded there before the draft, right? Correct?
Yeah.
And who's over there?
I mean, who used to be?
Who's over there? Oh, Jake Fromm, right?
Jake Fromm, yeah.
the guy who like made Phil's life is terrible. Okay, so he's over at Buffalo, Mitch is over there, and now all of a sudden, Justin Fields has a lazy work ethic.
Yeah.
He can't win, like all this stuff. I mean,
because did you hear any of that
yeah.
before the draft? I mean, over the last 2 years at Ohio State, had you heard anything about him having a poor work ethic at all?
Dude, after that Clemson game, when he got totally annihilated and came back and just kept mauling, that was one of the greatest performances I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
That game, I think I was talking to you, but I was going back. I was like, dude, are you watching this shit?
Yes.
I mean, dude, it was amazing. That game was amazing. I don't understand how, and that was his second to last game he played in college.
Yes.
And that just went out the window.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy was the best college player in the world on that day.
But he had a bad game against Northwestern that they won.
Yeah. Well, he lost to Alabama. So did fucking everyone else.
It wasn't his fault.
Yeah, let me see Zach Wilson's fucking BYU Cougars go up against the Alabama. Tell you how that worked out.
So, you know what would be really ironic and what would be great if, of course, Mitch Trubisky's going to Buffalo. He's going to take Jake Fromm's job. So Jake Fromm's going to get cut.
Is he taking Fromm's job or is he taking the other guy, Mike Barkley's job?
Who? No, Barkley's gone already. Barkley's gone.
I think Barkley's going to 3. I think Fromm's is out.
No, Barkley's gone already.
Oh, okay.
They've got Jake Fromm, Davis Webb, and Mitch Trubisky. They're only going to keep one backup. That's going to be Mitch.
Yeah.
And they're going to keep one guy on the practice squad.
Kind of offense as Allen does. They're kind of similar players.
Yeah.
Allen doesn't suck and Mitch does.
And they're going to keep one quarterback on the practice squad. So either Davis Webb or Jake Fromm will be on the practice squad. Odds are Davis Webb will be the practice squad guy. So they're going to cut Jake Fromm. Well, now, wouldn't it be great if the Chicago Bears pick up Jake Fromm? Yeah, having a scout team for Justin. That would.
I hope. I wish.
Karma. Can you imagine Jake Fromm bringing Justin Fields coffee every morning?
Oh God, here you go, man.
bringing the donuts and coffee to practice every day because that's all the backup quarterback does anyway. So.
I mean, I don't think has Fromm even been a backup yet. I think he was just a COVID QB last year.
Yeah, he never even practiced with the team. He didn't dress out. He never even spent time with the team. All he did was cash a check. So.
Yeah. Hey, good for him, I guess. Got some money. Buy some more duck boats, whatever he does.
So, Jake Fromm, if you're out there listening, why would you be listening?
Yeah, it's the wrong place.
All right, so I think we're both all in on Justin Fields. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and with the number 12 pick, the Dallas Cowboys selected Micah Parsons out of Penn State. Now, Micah, he sat out last year for COVID, so he hadn't played in about a year. I've seen a lot of tape on him. I've seen him play at Penn State. Solid linebacker, kind of reminds me a little bit of LeVar Arrington. I think it was just because he was at Penn State. You know, it makes kind of makes me. He wore number 11 too, didn't he? Yeah, I think he did. But everything I saw out of Micah, I liked. So, and Dallas definitely needs defense. They definitely need a linebacker because I think, what's his name, retired. What's his name?
Sean Lee.
Sean Lee. Yeah, Sean Lee retired, and they cut Van Der Esch. So
They cut him.
they cut Van Der Esch. Yeah, just a couple days ago. I guess once they picked Parsons, they cut Van Der Esch. Van Der Esch couldn't stay healthy anyway. So
Man,
they cut that.
though.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
I think he'd be a solid guy to come in and play 1 or 2 downs, spot downs because he can't stay healthy. But
bring him in on third.
yeah, exactly. So who knows? They might bring him back for less money. Who knows? But yeah, they did cut him. So this is a solid pick for the Cowboys. I'm glad the Cowboys didn't listen to the hype and give in to the hype and try to trade up to get Kyle Pitts or anybody on offense. They don't need offense. They need defense.
Yeah.
So this is a solid pick. I give this pick a 7.
Yeah, definitely considering I'm sure they wanted either Surtain or Horn. Couldn't get them.
Right.
So this is exactly what they needed. They're pretty much almost similar to the Falcons. You're just trying to outscore everyone.
Yeah.
And so this guy is going to come in and make some stops. Maybe take a touchdown off the board, make it a little easier on the offense. Good pick.
Yeah, and I think that'll if your defense, if you have a competent defense, they're keeping you in games, then Dak don't have to take as many chances. So there's a trickle down to having a better defense, especially seeing as how your quarterback had his foot damn near twisted off. So it still got paid.
Hey, good for him.
Yeah, good for him. Next up, pick number 13, Rashawn Slater, Northwestern, offensive tackle. We already talked about Rashawn. This is a great pick. Justin Herbert spent a lot of his rookie season. He had a great rookie season, but he spent a lot of it running.
Yeah.
So he ran for his life the whole time, but
still got it done.
Yeah. So this is a great need pick for them because the Chargers have a great offense, man.
They do.
Yeah. And Justin, his rookie season, I hope his rookie season wasn't a fluke, man, because I see superstar potential all over this kid. Yeah.
No, he looks solid.
Yeah.
This is the best pick they could have got. Protected quarterback.
Yeah.
I think they have Darwin Jones coming back next year too on the defense. That's going to be a big game change there. Chargers make a lot of good decisions and they make a lot of bad ones on the flip side. This is a good one.
And just think about it, man. Juxtapose this against the Bengals and Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
I mean, so if the Chargers are in the playoffs in the next couple years, and Joe Burrow and the Bengals are still 4-12, 4-5, or 4-13,
which is likely.
Yeah. So we can look back at this and see, and they're supposed to be wondering why is Justin Herbert better than Joe Burrow? Well, this is why. His team cared about him.
Yeah, well, Herbert's got 2 legs, Burrows has none.
Yeah, exactly. All right, next up is the Jets. They selected Elijah Vera Tucker, offensive guard out of USC. This is the Jets should have kept Sam Darnold and drafted offensive lineman, but now you're going to put Zach Wilson, inexperienced. At least Sam Darnold has 4 years of taking that. 4 years of taking that. He really took one for the team.
He gets a lot of hate, but the Jets have not won a single game without him.
No.
Yeah.
Never. You know what I mean? Because who the hell backing him up? Who played when Sam was out with mono?
Flacco.
It was Flacco? It was Flacco? Yeah, Flacco. That's right. So, damn. You know what I mean? Damn. This is a really good pick, I think, for the Jets, but for the wrong quarterback. So.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty much where you're at. Good pick. That's what you need. Should have traded out and got a couple more of these guys.
Yeah.
You kept Darnold. I think really the best thing that the Jets could have done is kept Darnold and built it around him.
Yeah.
But now they're just going to hit the reset button with Zach Wilson, and we'll be talking about it again in 3 more years.
Exactly. So let's bookmark this conversation, man. So if you're not still doing shows 3 years from now, we're going to be like, hey, remember Zach Wilson? Yeah. Where's he now?
No, I don't.
Yeah, he's in Burma. Okay, next up at pick number 15, the New England Patriots selected Mac Jones at quarterback out of Alabama. Mac Jones, I said this before, Mac Jones was a one-hit wonder in college, and he was destined to be a backup in college. Tua got hurt, he lucked up, and like Tom Brady, I guess in in the NFL, he lucked up, and the right person got hurt, and he quarterbacked a stacked, loaded team. Yeah. Problem is, in the NFL, he's not going to a stacked, loaded team. He's going to a rebuilding team with a ruthless coach who ain't gonna put up with no bullshit.
And no offensive weapons.
None.
I guess they got what they brought in Hunter Henry and Smith.
So
they got 2 tight ends.
So they're not gonna bring back Sonny Michel. They declined Sonny Michel's 5th-year option, so they're gonna have to retool the running back position. They have very few weapons on offense. Cam Newton is gonna be the starter, so he's gonna get beat to sleep. He'll be So Cam is resilient, so I don't think Cam will miss any time getting hurt. But the team's going to be terrible next year. Mac Jones, folks are comparing him to Tom Brady because he's tall, white, and slow.
Yep, pretty much.
Tom Brady, he ain't.
Well, he's not. Yeah.
So Mac Jones will be a perennial. Mac Jones will be A.J. McCarron 2.0.
Yeah, I think old Bill is just trying to relive the glory days. He wants the slow white guy, Tom Brady quarterback with what do you have? Hernandez and Gronk. He wants to run that dual tight end, slow, noodle arm, slow guy. I think it's gonna work. I think Bill was just desperate because Tom Brady's over here killing it and he's not. So I think he's trying to go back to his bread and butter, get his quarterback and his 2 tight ends and worry about his defense. But I just don't think it's gonna work, and it's gonna be a bust.
Now, did you see how when he was selected, Mac Jones literally ran?
Oh, he was hyped.
it's like a kid stealing candy. He's like, I'm gonna get paid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He even said he was like secretly I wanted them to draft me.
Oh man, this is a guy who he's fooled everybody into thinking that he's good because he was a quarterback for Alabama, but he will get exposed. Mac Jones will not be a good quarterback in the NFL. No, I don't see it at all.
And I kind of started buying into the hype a little bit. I was like, well, shit, maybe he is good. Why is everyone talking about it? Went back and watched the film on him. Almost all his touchdown throws are severely underthrown. It's his receivers coming back and getting them. That shit ain't gonna work in the NFL. That's a pick 6 at the house. So he's just. I think didn't Alabama break the record for most offensive players taken in the draft this year?
Yeah, they did. Okay,
well that says it all right there.
Yeah, I mean, once again, he spent an entire football season throwing to wide open windows, man.
Yeah,
wide open windows. You're not gonna do that.
He was playing for the Jets in the SEC.
Exactly. So, terrible pick. I give this pick a 2. So.
Yeah, I'll go 3 just to be different.
All right, next up, we got at pick number 16, you got the Cardinals with Zaven Collins, linebacker out of Tulsa. Great pick. Zaven Collins should not have been at Tulsa. Did he transfer or was he a recruit?
Not gonna lie, this pick caught me off guard. I do not know much about Zaven Collins.
Okay.
I've heard a lot about him, so I'm probably gonna let you take care of this one. I do not know much about him.
I watch an insane amount of football. I'm ashamed to say. I try to watch.
And nothing wrong with that.
I thank God for YouTube TV because you can save everything. There's no, you can save a billion games. And I literally save every football game that I could possibly save. If it airs, I save it. So I've seen Tulsa play a couple games. And there's just some guys, man, where it seems like every play, they're either around it or they're making the play.
Yeah.
Collins is one of those dudes. He's that dude, and I see him. The Cardinals definitely need a defense. They don't need no offense. I mean,
does he play interior or outside?
He plays inside, but he's a dude who can play inside, outside. He can play safety.
I imagine they put him on the inside, right? You got Chandler Jones and Wall on the out.
Yeah. You put him on the inside, and maybe on third downs you'll probably flex him out to the outside.
Yeah.
Or maybe in a nickel or a dime package, you can leave him in, and he can
pull Jones out, put him in.
Yeah, and he can play. He I think he can cover a slot, in a pinch.
Okay.
So I see a lot of versatility out of this guy.
I've heard of a lot of good things about him. I just don't know too much about him. Hey, but the Cardinals doing a lot of things right.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
And I'm giving this pick a 9 for the Cardinals.
All right.
All right. Next up, Alex Leatherwood, offensive tackle out of Alabama. There's another Bama player. At pick number 17, going to the Raiders. The Raiders definitely need offensive line help, so this is a need pick for them.
Mm-hmm.
Their offense is fine. They need help on defense as well. But seeing as how this is probably going to be David Carr's last chance, I say give him every chance possible to be good. So this is a solid pick. I give it a 7.
This is absolute 0.
Why is that?
I mean, he was the eighth ranked tackle on the board.
Mm-hmm.
There was 5 more guys ahead of him. The Raiders just have a history of just not knowing what the hell they're doing. We go back to the Colin Farrell pick last year and traded 4 to grab him.
Yeah.
They just Gruden. I have no idea why the hell they give him so much power. Like you got Christian Darrisaw from Virginia Tech. He was still there. Could have got him. There's a guy from Stanford. I think he was ranked high. They could have got him. But they picked this guy strictly because he played at Alabama.
I think, yeah.
John Gruden is just a sucker.
Yeah.
And just listens to everything he reads on the internet and what the media says. So, no, I think it's a fucking terrible pick.
Well, if you play O-line in Alabama, chances are you're going to be good.
Yeah, I mean, there's a chance. But I think there's a lot more guys. Probably, not like there's, at Virginia Tech.
Mm-hmm.
He's surrounded by, he's probably the only good lineman on that team. I mean, he's doing all the work. This guy, he's surrounded by good guys. He just needs to put his block up and his block only. I just don't understand it. And I think a lot of the analysts, are just where the hell did this guy come from? I like the second round pick. But this one, a reach and a bust. I'm not going to say bust because it is offensive tackle and usually they last. He'll probably put up some solid numbers, but they probably think they could have got someone better. In his position, I think they could have someone better.
Well, he might be one of the guys you rotate between guard and tackle. So who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
I think it's another Gruden buy-in to. I don't know.
So I think this would be a pick that we'll circle and kind of keep our eye on during the course of the year. So Alex Leatherwood. Alex Leatherwood, you're on the clock. All right, next up we got Miami again. They select with the 18th pick Jalen Phillips, defensive end out of the University of Miami. So they're going to keep him at home. Phillips, seen him play a lot. I like some of the things I saw, and I didn't like some of the things I saw. One of the things I'm going to point out about Jalen Phillips is this guy took plays off.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. So
he's got that Zeke effect. He makes plays
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and I just saw that a little bit too much from him. It's like if the play's not going to his side, he's not gonna be that guy chasing it down. He's not gonna be in the screen. Yeah. So maybe they'll coach that out of him in Miami. But if you're taking plays off in ACC football, top level ACC football in Miami, chances are you're going to take plays off in the NFL. So there you go.
Yeah, I don't think Flores is going to let him. I mean, he's a pretty hard knocks guy. So they're going to find out real quick if he's going to fit the system or not. I personally would have took what's his name, Gregory, whatever, the other guy he shut out last year from Miami. I think the Bills got him. I think I would have rolled the dice with him more than this guy.
Yeah, I think this is a reach pick. So I'm going to give this a 5. It has potential to be a good pick, or potential to be some guy that
I think there were safer picks out there.
Yeah, I agree. Especially at number 18.
21, yeah.
Yeah. Next up, we have the Washington football team. They selected Jamin Davis, linebacker out of Kentucky. I think this guy transferred from Bama, didn't he? Is this?
I'm not sure where he transferred from. I have watched him play a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
He seems like a pretty good healthy player.
Yeah. Kentucky wasn't terrible last year. They were in pretty much every game. They were at least in the game.
Well, didn't they hasn't a running back been the quarterback for the past 2 years?
Yeah, they did.
So
they did.
The only reason they're winning games is the defense, right?
Yeah, exactly. So there's something to be said about that. Especially at Kentucky, who has a piss poor football program. To be as competitive as they were, that's a testament to their coaches and to the defense. So I feel this is a solid pick.
He's got some hell of a tape too. He looks good on tape.
Yeah, he looks great on tape. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Play, man.
Yeah.
He doesn't play.
So I give this pick a 6 for the Washington football team. Yeah, and the Washington football team they're a team to watch. They are a team to watch going into next season as well. Too bad they don't have a quarterback. They have a cadaver at quarterback, but
it's magic.
Man, come on, man. Seriously. The dude is 900 years old, man. Still fooling people.
I like Scary Terry, and I like their running back. What's his name? Shit. Can't think of top.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Gibson was pretty good.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. A lot of potential there. A lot of boom and bust potential for the football for the Washington football team. I don't think they're going to be good because Fitzmagic, like I say, he'll be good for a couple games, and they're going to suck. So,
but he's playing against the Giants and the Eagles, and who knows?
True, very true. Yeah. All right, next up, number 20, we have Kadarius Toney, wide receiver out of Florida, going to the New York Giants. I think the Giants could have gotten somebody else, because they signed Kenny Golladay, I believe.
Yeah, they did.
And I think somebody
cut their tie in though is what's his name? Ingram. Is he still there?
Yeah, Ingram. Yeah.
Is he still there?
Yeah, Ingram is still there.
They got Shepard, now Toney and Ingram.
Right. And so I don't think that this was the right pick for them. Me personally, I would have picked Najee Harris here because you got Saquon coming off a knee injury.
Yeah,
major knee injury. Yeah. So and obviously the Giants, their offense is predicated on the run anyway. So why not have Najee in there just in case Saquon is not the Saquon that we're used to. So I would have picked Najee Harris here. Kadarius Toney, he played fine at Florida, but I mean he never did anything that really blew my socks off. So I don't like the pick, so I give it a 2.
Yeah, I don't really have much to say about him. I think it was just a whatever pick. I mean, didn't they trade 3 picks just to get down to 20?
Yeah, they did. And
so I don't. Yeah. They didn't know what the hell they were going to do in the first place.
No. Yeah. So I think this is good bust potential when it comes to this particular draft pick. Next up at number 21, we got the Colts selected Kwity Paye, defensive end out of Michigan. The worst pick, one of the worst picks of the first round. This is a terrible pick. And I say that because I'm a huge Michigan fan. Michigan football is my second favorite football program outside of Georgia when it comes to college football. So I love Michigan. The Michigan Wolverines, man. So I know a lot about.
I got a question to ask you about it later then.
Okay. So I follow them. I'm a huge Michigan fan, and I've watched every Michigan game for like every year of my life. So Kwity Paye, he's a great player, but he's another guy who takes a lot of plays off.
Okay. Now is that because of Harbaugh or is that because of him?
It's because of him. When I say take plays off, I mean he doesn't come off the field. And when I say take plays off, is that if the play does not go to his side of the field, he doesn't pursue it. He just
he's out.
He's out there.
I don't know. I would still say, does the question stand? Is it because of Harbaugh though?
Yeah. See, I'm not down on Coach Harbaugh like a lot of folks are.
Yeah.
And everything, man, because obviously this is Michigan. They have 5 stars across the board, man.
They should.
But because Michigan's defense is usually pretty solid. Yeah. And I'm not gonna say that Kwity he's not a bad player at all. But like I said, the thing I noticed about Michigan last year is that their defense they didn't play to their potential. They took a lot of players took a lot of plays off. They didn't rally to the ball. They didn't swarm to the ball. So and what I mean by not by taking plays off things of that nature, say
if it's not his direction, he's not worried about it. Not sure, not my problem.
Exactly. So say if somebody breaks a tackle and reverses field or something, you're out of position because you didn't follow the play.
Yeah, you were just like, I got beat. I'm just jogging over here anyways.
Exactly. So I saw that a lot with Michigan, and a lot of times he was the main culprit. So I think this is a terrible pick. He would be a bust. He would not play. He would be, if anything,
Well,
he'll
that's
be.
not going to work in Indianapolis.
No, it's not.
They're not going to stand for that.
No, not at all. Not at all.
No, they're old school.
So,
yeah, you better, yeah.
So I think we'll see this guy playing special teams a lot, and he'll be out of the league in 3 years.
Right.
So, anything you want to add?
No, I was kind of going off. What I know about him is pretty much stuff I read. You got more knowledge on that than me.
Yeah, watch the tape. Yeah, watch the tape, man. Watch the tape.
Okay.
All right, next up we got Virginia Tech, Caleb Farley, cornerback for the Tennessee Titans at pick number 22. Caleb is a solid corner. Virginia Tech is notorious for having solid defense, especially strong secondaries. So he comes from a long line of solid cornerbacks. So I think he'll be a solid rotational guy. He won't be a shutdown guy, but he'll be a good 1A type of corner. I think he's the type of guy that you can see blitz a lot. So the only guys that they use not just as a shutdown, but kind of to be that guy that, like I said, they send him on a DB blitz, he'll be that guy. So
yeah, I think if he didn't have those prior injuries, they're pretty bad. I think it was his back, right?
Yeah, it was.
It's pretty serious stuff. I think if he didn't have that, I think he probably would have been a Cowboy. Or at least a top 15 pick.
Absolutely.
He was that good. The guy can ball.
Yeah, he can.
There's no denying his skills. It's just, is he going to be able to handle that? Can his body stand up?
Yeah, and I think and Tennessee really needs defensive backs as well.
They do. So, I mean, because that's what they get burned on.
Yeah, so he'll get every opportunity to show himself. So, and I feel kind of good him going to Tennessee because of Mike Vrabel.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he has a great staff, man. So I think they'll coach him up and they will use him in the right way. So I see this as a solid pick.
They got a good program.
Yeah, absolutely. So I give this pick a 6. Next up, Christian Darrisaw. There's that name again. Christian Darrisaw, Virginia Tech, offensive line. Like you said, he was their best offensive lineman, their only offensive lineman. They struggled a lot on offense, but he didn't struggle.
No, he did not. He was really good.
No.
And that's why I don't understand. Yeah. No, the Raiders are just dumb. That's pretty much just what I come down to. This guy is going to be pretty solid. I think he's going to egg. The Vikings, I think they need a lot of help everywhere. Well, they have a couple of very key positions that you don't want to not have that they're missing, like defensive end, quarterback,
right,
offensive tackle. Like the key guys that they need, they're kind of missing. They have a lot of good playmakers, secondary guys, but they're missing the bread and the butter.
Yeah.
And I think this guy could be, he can get in there and give them a little something that they need.
I agree 100%. And like you said, this is a team that has a lot of great players, but they also have a lot of holes.
Yeah. And it's not just holes, it's very important holes.
Yeah, you nailed it. It's not like they have a hole at punter,
Yeah.
So next up we have at number 24, the Pittsburgh Steelers selected Najee Harris, Alabama, running back. This was a need pick because they got rid of James Conner. Yeah, they got rid of him. Obviously, with Le'Veon Bell gone, so they really and obviously the Steelers' MO is always having a strong running game.
Yep, defense first, run the ball.
Yeah, so I see this as being a great pick for them. Obviously, this has been Ben Roethlisberger's last year.
Yeah.
The
writing's on the wall.
Yeah, and he's running on fumes right now. So I think not having a strong running game is going to help Ben to kind of get through. Ben kind of reminds me of Peyton Manning in his last year, where he's just he's using this savvy, using this veteran savvy.
You got to reach back and get them 15 yards.
Yeah, exactly, man, exactly. So the Steelers are always competitive, so they'll be competitive again this year. And like I said, Ben just needs everybody around him to step their game up and to really help take the load off of him. And I think Najee going to the Steelers is a good pick, and I think he will be the best running back out of this draft.
And they wanted him since day one.
Oh,
that's always been their guy.
Okay,
I got him.
Good pick.
So you can't beat that.
So I give them a 10 for this. This definitely was a neat pick.
That's what they needed. That's what they wanted, and they got him. They nailed it.
Absolutely. Next up, Jacksonville, Travis Etienne, running back out of Clemson.
Stupid.
For a team with a terrible defense. You just let
I'm
me
gonna go on my fucking urban rant.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Actually has no fucking idea what the hell he's doing. Anyone in the Jacksonville area know who the hell James Robinson is? Your best running back you've had since Mauricio Drew. Killed it last year. And you say you take your second first round pick and you draft this guy? Are you fucking serious? Like,
do you think
it just shows how bad the coach and the front office is? They take a running back. Like, they had, 3 picks in the first, 35 picks?
Yeah.
Take a running back? Like, your team sucks. And you need a running back? You already have a running back. James Robinson was a beast last year.
Yeah. He wasn't the problem.
Been tossed aside.
Yeah, he was not the problem.
No, he was the only good thing on the team.
So, how much do you think this pick was a function of Trevor Lawrence?
Oh, 100%. Urban just like, I love college. We got to get the team chemistry up there.
Now,
I'm also very salty because I really wanted to go to Atlanta, so I was very fucking pissed when Jacksonville took him. But it still doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make zero sense.
Well, let me play devil's advocate a little bit. This could be a situation where they're not going to use him at tailback. They're going to use Robinson at tailback and use Etienne as maybe a utility guy. You know, flex him out in the slot. You know,
shit, I mean, they might run the split some college offense. Who knows?
I'm just saying, man. run back some kicks, man. You know, and like I said, spell James. You know, every third series or something. You know, be a change of pace.
Don't get me wrong. I like Travis a lot as a player.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted him on my team. Either would it be the Falcons or Dolphins, 1 or 2. I wanted him. But for the Jaguars, like, come on, dude.
Yeah, they didn't need him. Yeah, this pick is a 1 for me. So. But congratulations, Trevor. You got your buddy to hang out with. Yeah.
You can lose together.
Yeah, exactly. Next up, we have Northwestern cornerback Greg Newsome going to the Cleveland Browns at the 26th pick. Cornerback. If any team did not need offense, it's the Browns. So this is a good need pick for them. They do need help on defense. So I think this is a solid pick. Greg Newsome was he had a great season with Northwestern. I think they had the number 1 defense in all of college football, or they were top 5 the whole year.
Northwestern put some players out.
Yeah, they did, and they had a very strong secondary. Justin Fields can tell you that they played great against Ohio State.
Yeah.
I was very impressed with their defense as a whole, and then especially their secondary. I see this guy being a good cover man, but I also see him being great in the zone. So
what's he gonna? They still got Denzel Ward, right?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I mean,
and they definitely need it. Yeah.
Shout out to the Browns. That's an organization who was in a complete shithole for years and years and years and years, and they somehow turned it around when no one thought they would. I mean, they've done a good job.
Yeah, and I think that when it comes to the Browns, it all starts with the fact that when they selected what is his name, the defensive lineman, him.
Shit.
What is his name? Damn it.
Myles Garrett.
Myles Garrett. Yeah, Myles Garrett. Because the old football adage is that you always start your team in the interior, offensive line, defensive line, and they did that, and it's paying dividends. I think it really is.
They have made all the right moves.
Yes, they have. And
they came a long way.
And I like their attitude. They have an attitude on defense and on offense. So.
And they got a great fan base too. I actually work with a guy who's a big Browns fan.
Oh, really?
I'm happy for him because he's lived in the suck all his life, and I like the Browns. I mean, I like what they're doing.
Yeah, my best.
It's very hard, like the Jets will never do what the Browns did.
Oh no, not at all. So shouts out to the Browns, and actually my best friend is from Cleveland, so shout out to the Browns.
Nice.
Next up, the Minnesota Vikings selected, not Minnesota Vikings, the Ravens selected Rashad Bateman out of Minnesota, wide receiver. 2 years ago, Minnesota had a great season, and Rashad Bateman was a big part of that. Not so much. Did he sit out this year?
I think he did sit out because I could not find anything on him.
Yeah.
I think maybe he was like a late exit.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe he like
once he
started
realized
the season but left before the first game. I don't think he was like a holdout off the beginning, but I think he just decided at the end.
Yeah, I think he saw that the team was gonna suck, so he's like,
yeah, probably.
Yeah. But yeah, what I saw Rashad 2 years ago, I really liked. He's a big guy. He can run, and he has great hands. He's the type of guy who can fight for the ball.
I think he averaged 20 yards a catch.
Yes, he did. Yeah. And I say this because, what's his name? Lamar Jackson's not the most accurate guy. So he's the type of guy that he can be.
He can reach out and grab him.
Exactly. That's definitely what what's his name? Lamar Jackson needs someone that he doesn't have to be perfect on every throw, and still,
No, I like it. I mean, he was. Yeah. Bateman was high up even before he even sat out. Like everyone expected him to be a first rounder, and he's still here even after sitting out. So obviously he's got some talent.
Absolutely. So
20 yards average. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, especially even in college. That's great.
Yeah.
So good pick for the Ravens. They give this one a 7. Next up, we got Peyton Turner, Houston, defensive end. Once again, man, this is another. This is for the Saints. This is another guy who took plays off. Maybe you know what? Thinking about it, man, maybe I'm a little biased when I'm watching tape and watching games and everything, man. Because I hate seeing defensive linemen who don't rally to the ball. That's one of my pet peeves. It might be a situation where the coach is like, hey, you stay. I don't want you, piling on or whatever. I want you to stay where you are. That could be a function of that. Yeah, it could be a function of that, and me just holding it against them because I like to see people hustling. But once again, I'm gonna stick to my biases. Peyton Turner took a lot of plays off, so I'm gonna give this a pick of 5.
Don't know too much about Turner. I watched a couple of his films. Didn't really see. Yeah, he had made some plays, but I don't know. Like, is that what the Saints really needed?
No.
Yeah,
No, the defense is fine.
Yeah. So yeah, like I don't get the pick.
No.
I'd probably go lower than you, maybe a 3 on that one.
And you're probably right, man. You're probably more right than I am, man. So Peyton Turner, if you're out there listening, stop taking plays off, son. Hustle.
Yeah, get a good hustle, man.
That's right. Next up, Eric Stokes, Georgia cornerback, going to the Green Bay Packers. I'm sure Aaron Rodgers loved that pick.
Oh, he loved
it. So this is a horrible pick. I give it a 1. Go.
This is terrible.
Yeah.
Did he cover Smith or Waddle in the Georgia game?
He covered neither one of them because everybody got burnt. So
I was saying because they both put up 160.
Yeah.
So, which one was he covering? Yeah, this is stupid.
Yeah, he was covering air.
The Packers had a pretty decent defense last year. Even Rodgers was like, "I'm so glad I got a defense."
Yeah.
Like, we like to call Rodgers a diva, but shit, man, I get it. He was an MVP last year, and you pick up this guy. But he was also like, they picked this guy up before he was actually a diva, so this definitely is not helping the Aaron Rodgers situation whatsoever.
Yeah, the Green Bay Packers did not need a defensive pick. Did not.
No.
Not at all. All right.
Especially when it gets burned.
Yeah, exactly. On the, crispy.
Yeah.
Next up, Buffalo selects out of Miami, Gregory Rousseau, defensive end. Buffalo's a team that's pretty much stacked on both sides of the ball. So I think this is a depth pick for them. So I'm okay with the pick. Rousseau is solid. This is a guy who didn't take plays off. He's 100% all the time. Yeah. So I like the pick. I like the pick a lot. So I give this pick a 8 for the Bills.
I'm almost at a 9. I love this pick. I think if he would have sat out last year, he would be at least a top 8 pick.
You think?
I think this guy's a monster.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's got a motor like nowhere else. I think Miami should have took him instead of this guy on the opposite side.
Jalen, yeah.
I think this guy's gonna be really good, especially in Buffalo. That team's ready to win.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I think Buffalo's going to drop off a little bit this year. I think they're going to have a bit of a sophomore slump, so to speak.
Yeah.
I see Miami kind of taking up that slack, and because Buffalo won a lot of games last year, but a couple of those games were kind of fluke games.
I mean, where if they blew out Miami in the playoffs or to the wild card game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Other than that, though, we kept it pretty close. There's a lot of close. I mean, Buffalo is good. I'm not taking anything away from them. They're a good ass team.
Yeah, they won a lot of close games, but I don't see them winning as many. You know how it is. You one year you win all the close games, next year you lose all the close games.
You can't win every coin flip.
Yeah, exactly. So I see them dropping off maybe 2 or 3 less wins. So maybe instead of going I think they went 13-3 or.
I think it'll be definitely a closer battle for that top spot for sure.
Yeah, I see Buffalo being like 11-5. No, damn it, 11-6.
Yeah, 17 years.
Yeah.
It'll take a while.
Okay, next up is Penn State linebacker Odafe Double O.
Yeah, that guy.
Linebacker at Penn State.
From Penn State.
Yeah, linebacker U. He was solid. I don't think he's first round solid, but he's a solid pick for the Ravens. And the Ravens are notorious for having a strong linebacking core, so I think he'll fit right in.
The defense is getting a little older too.
Yeah, and he's someone that you can put on in and have him rush as well. And also, I think he'll be good, a good up the middle run stopper.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I've always liked what Baltimore has done with their defensive line and with their linebacker. So I think he'll fit right in and be a good, solid addition to the team. So I give this one a 6.
Yeah. Yeah, 6 sounds pretty good.
All right, and with the final pick of the first round of the NFL draft, the Super Bowl champions, Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers selected out of Washington, Joe Tryon, outside linebacker. Tampa Bay brought back every last single player from the football
single starter.
Yeah. So this guy's not going to start. So he'll come in and help out and on a stacked team that's going to make another Super Bowl run. So it's just a solid pick. Like I said, he's not going to play much, so he'll fill in.
Yeah. I mean, easy for them. They just had to go find a guy. Yeah. Who do you think can develop really good?
Yeah.
Obviously, they thought he was.
So yeah, I give this pick a 10 because why not?
Why not? Yeah. I mean, it's not like he's going to play. He's just going to learn.
Yeah. Exactly. So that does it for the first round. So before we jump into some other picks, what's your overall thought on the first round and who won the first round?
Who won the first round? I'm gonna say the Chicago Bears. I think they filled the one need that they needed the most, and I think they got the second best, arguably the first best quarterback in the entire draft. I think that team is built to win. They already got Allen Robinson. They kept him around, thank God. If they would have cut him earlier, that would have been good. They got a pretty decent running back core. Good defense, really good defense. And they got a good spot for Justin. So I think that he's going to be, when it all comes down to it, he's going to be the most impactful player for his team in this draft.
You're not gonna believe this. I disagree.
Yep.
I disagree. I don't think that they won the first round. I think Miami won the first round of the draft. I'm just high on Miami for whatever reason. Obviously, how I feel about Justin. I think it's a great pick for Chicago, and it's gonna. I agree with everything that you said, but just something about Miami that I like. I love their coach. Because when that team was supposed to suck, they didn't suck.
No, they were supposed to be. I mean, of course they tanked for 2 or whatever. They were still in the games. They were winning. They were losing games by 1 point, and they were probably throwing those. And then they came out last year not supposed to win. Shit, they almost played the playoffs, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Should have, to be honest.
So yeah, I'm very high on Miami, and I think once again the Jalen Waddle pick is a great pick for a team that's on the ascension. Because obviously Jalen will play day one. The thing obviously with Justin, most likely Justin's going to sit 5 or 6 games.
Yeah.
So he'll have a smaller sample size. He's definitely going to be impactful for Chicago, but I just think that since the team is obviously all in on Tua.
Yeah.
And their defense is already rock solid. They added to their defense.
Scary.
Yeah. So
scary.
So
I think I would have chosen one if they would have took Gregory instead of Jalen. I think I would have picked him one. I definitely would have picked him one. I just like Gregory more.
Yeah.
I think they just reached on him. Obviously, Waddle's gonna be good.
so who lost the first round of the draft, man?
Who lost? Shit.
The Jets.
I don't. Yeah.
Jets. Jets.
I mean, that's the easiest pick, but I think they were gonna lose no matter what.
Yeah.
I think they could have picked Mac Jones. I think they could have picked Justin Fields. I think they could have picked Trevor Lawrence. I think they would still be the worst team in the league next year.
Yeah.
I just don't think anyone's gonna go in there and make any difference at all.
No.
So I would say who did the worst. I'm gonna say the Cincinnati Bengals.
True. Yeah, you're right. I changed my mind. You're right because they needed an offensive lineman, but instead they sentenced Joe Burrow to the electric chair.
So, throwing Hail Marys out of breaking a sack.
Yeah. So we know they should have drafted. They should have drafted an offensive lineman and a chiropractor because Joe's gonna fucking need it, man. Damn, dude.
They did nothing to help. I mean, they gave their the future quarterback a weapon, but how's he gonna throw it to him?
Yeah, is it possible to draft a spleen? That's what he's gonna need. So, Joe, if you're out there listening, dude, why would you be listening? So,
yeah.
All right. So,
hey, also talk to your agent, man. Get the fuck out of there.
Guys, no doubt, man. Bless your heart, Joe Burrow. Sweet Jesus. All right. So let's jump into some later rounds. Let's look at one pick from the second round. Anybody in particular in the second round that you want to talk about?
I like Elijah Moore.
I
like him with the Jets. I just like him as a player.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be pretty solid.
But how's he going to be solid, man, when you don't have a quarterback to throw you the ball?
That's why I don't like him with the Jets. I just like him as a player. I think Christian Barrymore at the Packers, I think is going to be pretty solid. Or not the Packers, the Patriots. Sorry.
See, Christian Barrymore? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty good.
Yeah. Can't go wrong with
Javonte Williams, he split carries with the other running back in North Carolina.
Yeah, they had great running backs. Yeah, Carter. Was it Carter? Carter. Michael Carter. Yeah.
So he could be good, but did he benefit from that that shared system or not?
Now there's a pick out of the second round, man, that I think is gonna surprise a lot of people, and this player has the potential to be the defensive rookie of the year.
Samuel Jr.
Who?
Samuel Jr.
No. No. Azeez Ojulari out of Georgia.
Okay.
Linebacker.
All right.
This guy, now this is a guy, if you go back and watch the Georgia tape, every play, this dude was around the ball. This dude, he got a lot of sacks. They're going to have him at linebacker. They're going to rush him on the edge. I see this guy making a lot of plays in New York. I see he has a high potential of being the rookie of the year because he's going to have a lot of opportunities to sack the quarterback.
I imagine he would start, right? I know they got Blake Martinez in the middle.
I mean,
I'm sure they have on the out.
I think he's gonna play a lot. You might see him a lot on third down, especially.
Yeah.
In rush situations. So I see a high probability with Ojulari to become one of those guys who in his first year gets a lot of sacks. And becomes a star. So that's my pick.
I'll take a shit out to Richard Grant. Honestly, I don't know much about him until he got drafted. Looks pretty solid. It seems like he loves being a Falcon already.
Oh, really?
Which I like.
Good.
I like when a player just immediately takes in the team right off the get-go. And Richie Grant's doing that. He had a really good pro day, Senior Bowl, whatever. He had a lot of good things going for him. We'll see how the guy from TCU did, because he actually did win the award. And we did not choose him. So it was kind of a risk, but I'm hopeful. I got nothing against the guy. We needed a safety. He plays that kind of hybrid mode. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, that's once again a solid pick, and I just wish they would have made a solid pick with their first round choice as well. What do you think about Kyle Trask going to Tampa at number 32 of the second round? Tell us how you really feel.
Good luck. Hey, at least you can say you play with Tom Brady.
Yeah. At some point, Tom's going to have to hang him up, man. So, who knows?
I don't think it's going to be Kyle Trask.
Okay. Anybody else in the second round you want to talk about?
Terrence Marshall Jr.
Yeah. LSU had a lot of wide receivers, man. A lot of great wide receivers, man. So yeah, Terrence could be one of those guys that kind of come out, come out of the woodwork and kind of surprise some people.
Yeah, he picked up Chase's slack. He did a pretty good job. So.
He did. And they didn't have a great season, but obviously they lost a lot of games, but still.
They lost the entire team.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But they stay competitive if nothing else.
I think a player to circle would be Rondell Moore for the Cardinals. I'm interested to see what he does.
Oh, really? So,
just because he's so small.
Mm-hmm.
And.
But he played at Purdue.
But he put some numbers up. The guy was a beast. Mm-hmm. He's just so tiny.
Yeah, you make a point, man. But like I said, he played at Purdue, so.
Yeah. Shout out Purdue. I like Purdue.
All right, let's take a quick look at round number 3. See here, anything that kind of jumps out. Davis Mills going to the Texans. Quarterback out of Stanford.
Quarterback from Stanford?
Yeah.
I don't think they had too much of an option.
Yeah, they had to get a quarterback, obviously, since either.
You want to be left with nothing.
Yeah, because either Deshaun's going to be traded or going to be in jail. So.
Yeah. Either way, he ain't playing for you.
Yeah, either way, he ain't playing for you. You can put some money on his commissary. What do you think about Kellen Mond going to the Vikings? Quarterback out of Texas A&M.
He's got a lot of natural talent,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of heart, a lot of drive.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think because when I watch him play, he just looks so sloppy.
Yeah, he was very inconsistent.
Yeah.
That could be a coaching thing.
A lot of technique issues to work out.
Yeah. So yeah, I think he'll be a good position. Sitting behind Kirk Cousins for a couple years, and they coach those bad habits out of him. Potentially, he could be a solid player for them.
I think he'll have an opportunity to battle for the starting job at one point in his career.
I think so too. If he can, if he can clean up his inconsistency. Trey Sermon going to the 49ers. Once again, a team that's predicated on the run. Trey Sermon was great.
Yeah, he was.
So.
And they just dropped Tevin Coleman, so they got a.
Yeah.
They got Robert Mostert coming back, I believe. Trey Sermon, so they're ready to win. Oh, right after him, Nico Collins, Michigan fan. I wanted to ask you about him. What do you think about Nico?
Come on, man.
You don't like him?
No, I don't. Once again, man, last year, Michigan was so freaking inconsistent, man.
Did he play last year, though?
No, I don't think he did.
I think he did.
Yeah, I don't think he did. But, like I said, the team was just so inconsistent. And, and Michigan has never been a great producer of wide receivers. You had a few here and there. You had Braylon Edwards, who had a decent pro career. Desmond Howard was pretty much a bust. Anthony Carter. So you had some guys come out of there, but you'll never confuse Michigan with being wide receiver U.
I got you.
So once again, you playing in Michigan, you playing in the cold and the wind and all that kind of stuff. There's not a high
Yeah.
premium on top notch wide receivers. They're mostly like possession type guys. Michigan's never been a team that had a lot of speed either.
Yeah.
So
I watched a couple highlights of him. I was like, he was pretty solid. But I don't think he played last year. He had a couple. He looked pretty aggressive. I was just looking at his metrics there. He's a lot smaller than I thought he was. For some reason, I pictured him being like a Julio Jones type stature. Doesn't seem that way though.
yeah, I see this guy being a slot possession type guy if he makes the team. Well, they got him in the third round, so I guess he will at least make the team. I think, but in 3 years, Nico Collins will be an afterthought.
Gotcha.
A high bust or boom potential player, Anthony Schwartz out of Auburn. He's probably the fastest player in the draft. And Anthony Schwartz was that guy at Auburn. He scared me every time. I was terrified of Anthony Schwartz. So I think there's potential there for him at wide receiver because I don't think Odell Beckham is going to be there. So.
That's a strange situation they got going on over there.
Yeah, I mean, plus, Odell, Odell has a lot of baggage. And plus the fact that now, he blew his knee out. So I don't think, you make all the one-handed catches that you want, man. But, after a while, man, the shit gets old. All the stuff, all the antics and everything,
Yeah, I mean, he's good cutting in and out, but gotta be in the field.
Yeah, so I'm not high on Odell still being around. Because, when they start talking about you getting traded, chances are they already kind of got one foot out the door on you anyway as a team.
Yeah. And that's kind of been his career. He's always kind of been one foot out the door.
Yeah, exactly. I see him, being a Terrell Owens type person. Let's see here. Ben Cleveland, offensive guard out of Georgia, going to the Ravens. Could be a solid pick there. So that's somebody that I'd like to kind of keep an eye on as well. And
Ravens has some good picks this year.
Yeah.
And, they filled some holes.
Yeah, and once again, they're a solid team anyway, so they really don't have a lot of holes to fill. They just need to be able to beat Kansas City.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure they predicated a lot of their thoughts around, make sure that they can compete with Kansas City, especially since how they traded their best offensive lineman to Kansas City.
Yep, sure did.
Yeah.
Well, didn't they just signed what's his name, Alejandro Villaro, whatever, from the Steelers. They just signed him, I think, today.
Oh, they did? Oh.
They signed what's his name, Alejandro from the Steelers, the tackle.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay.
He played for the Steelers forever. Yeah, they just signed him, I think, today or yesterday.
So they're arch rival. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see what else here. Let's jump around. Okay, round four. Anything stand out for round 4 for you?
No.
Let's see here. Amon-Ra St. Brown. He was interesting at USC. He was always, he made a lot of big plays at USC, but sometimes he would disappear for large chunks of the game.
Yeah, he was one of the guys who would have a 150-yard game, and then you wouldn't see him for another 3 weeks.
Yeah. Now, here's an interesting pick. Chuba Hubbard out of Oklahoma State going to the Panthers. Chuba was the number one. Yeah, I think it was an excellent pick. He's a Christian McCaffrey clone type. He was the top rusher in the NCAA 2 years ago. So. And
they just sent Mike Davis over to us.
They did?
So they need another. Okay. Yeah, we got Mike Davis over in Atlanta now.
Okay. Here's an interesting one. Ian Book, quarterback out of Notre Dame, going to the Saints. I don't know why. I mean, interesting, but I don't think he's a NFL starter type potential.
I don't know why. You already got Winston, and you already paid a shit ton of money to what's his name.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't understand that pick. Maybe they're gonna stash him on the practice squad for a couple of years and kind of see what happens with him. Obviously Yeah, they're gonna see what happens with Jameis anyway. So if Jameis doesn't pan out, because I think they signed him to a 1 year
They still
deal.
got what Tyson Hill collecting like 15 mil.
Yeah, they got Taysom Hill. Yeah, so I don't think Taysom Hill is a everyday everyday starter. He's not. I don't see him being an effective starting quarterback. So
he's an athletic version of Zach Wilson.
Yeah, they're both from BYU too.
Yep.
So, all right, let's see what else here. Let's look at 5th round. Anything jump out the 5th round for you? Let me see here. Sean Wade, cornerback out of Ohio State, to the Ravens. 2 years ago, Sean was one of the top quarterbacks in all of college football. So opportunity there. I'm surprised he fell that far. Let's see what else here. Nothing else really jumps out at me.
I love a good fullback.
Who that? Who you
Ben
talking about?
Mason, the Ravens, the last pick. I love a good fullback.
Yeah, and that's definitely a team that can use a one of the few teams in the league that can use a fullback, especially with the running plays that you use for Lamar. So could be a solid pick there for them. Basically fits what they try to do anyway. Next up, let's look here. 6th round. Anything really jump out at you in the 6th round?
Frank Darby, Arizona State's going to be the Falcons' new special teams guy.
You think so?
He's pretty much been there, done that. Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Sam Ellinger, out of Texas.
Colts, right?
He went to the Colts. They definitely don't need a quarterback. They got Jacob Eason and they got what's his name? Carson Wentz. So once again, it might be somebody they stash on the practice squad for a couple years and see what happens with him.
He'll make some money. He'll bounce around.
Yeah, exactly.
Seth Williams, I expect him to go a little higher than that.
Oh wow, yeah. Anthony Schwartz went before Seth. That's kind of strange.
Wow,
yeah. Okay, that's something to watch for. And he went to the Broncos. Okay.
That's a good pickup.
Yeah, some potential there.
I like that. Yeah.
Let's see if he makes the team.
And of course, Atlanta gave Denver that. Fucking assholes.
Now, something I want to point out. I want to talk to you about a little bit. Since how Sam Ellinger got selected, Jamie Newman didn't get selected at all. He was an undrafted free agent.
Nope. He got picked up though.
Yeah, he got picked up. Who did he get picked up by? But I'm surprised that he didn't get picked at all. And once again, this could be a function of Kirby Smart and Kirby Smart bad mouthing him for ditching the team. But Jamie probably did him a favor, man, because that allowed him to play JT Daniels. So
I don't think Jamie Newman would have been anyone. I don't think he'd have been drafted in the first place. I think he had a bunch of hype because he was going to be the next quarterback for UGA, and they said they were going to spread it out. So that, UGA is going to be a top 10 program every year, no matter what.
Yeah.
And so I think they thought he was going to be the QB there running that program, so he was automatically going to be good. And then he didn't play, and they're like, well, let's look back at his Wake Forest tape. Just kidding.
So, Jamie Newman, if you're out there listening, man, you should have played.
Yeah, you fucked up, buddy.
Yeah, you fucked. It cost yourself a lot of money. I don't know how much guys get paid when they get picked up as undrafted free agents, but it can't be much.
No. I mean, what's the minimum wage in NFL? Like $500K now?
Is it?
Ain't doing too bad.
Yeah. Yeah, but ain't the kind of, but 40% of it gets taxed, so it's not like you'll be able to go out and get yourself a Bentley. so
Hey, you might make the practice squad. I think that's only like $15,000 every other week. So.
Oh really? Yeah.
You have a tough time.
Yeah, exactly. So you be living in an apartment. Let's see here. And in the final round, the 7th round, anything jump out to you in the 7th round?
Is that when my guy went? Yes, sir, I do.
Who that?
Presley Harvin III.
Presley Harvin?
The punter from Georgia Tech.
No. Is he related to Percy Harvin?
Nah.
Okay.
But he's 6'2", 260.
What? That's a big dude.
That's the punter.
Okay, so
you should look him up after this. You're gonna get a laugh, man. This guy's a hoss.
So tell me a little bit about him, man. You know, is he versatile? Can he do other things?
He was the best punter this year across the board.
Mm-hmm.
The guy can fucking play. Don't get me wrong. He's got a boot on him.
Mm-hmm.
He can punt the ball. But, I mean, he looks like an offensive tackle on there kicking the ball. It's hilarious. And he wears, like, the tightest jersey. He rolls his sleeves up.
Oh, really?
Like, I mean, he shows it all off. It's great.
So
I can't wait. I think he went to...
He went to the Steelers.
The Steelers, yeah. Let him in.
So he might fit right in. Okay.
It's gonna be interesting.
All right. Well, Presley Harvin III, we're rooting for you, man. I hope you can make the team. So, you know.
Listen, they drafted a punter. Obviously, they need one.
All right. So there you have it. All 7 rounds of the NFL draft. Of course, we just jumped around a little bit in the last 6 rounds, and we've kind of made our feelings known in regards to the first round. So, summarize. So, what's your overall takeaway of the draft?
Pretty straightforward, I guess. Not too much drama. I think a lot of teams got what they wanted, and I think it was. Yeah, that's pretty much my opinion. I think a lot of teams got what they wanted. I think a lot of teams did very good. There was a lot more winners than losers, when usually it's kind of opposite.
So, that being said, I know last year we made some predictions and everything, so let's do the same thing this year. So, what is your prediction? So, let's hear it, man.
All right, NFC champions. I hate to say it, but the Buccaneers give me absolutely no reason why they would not win again. They brought back every single starter, and why would they lose? So that's my NFC lock. AFC. I'm gonna say I wanted the Bills at first. You've got to change your mind on that. So I don't want to pick a repeat. I really don't.
No, it's not gonna be a rematch.
I'm gonna stick with Bucks and Bills.
Bucks and Bills?
Yeah, Bucks and Bills.
B and B. Okay. All right. So you got the Bucks and Bills playing in the Super Bowl. Yeah. All right. My choice to come out of the AFC. I'm going with this is a tough one, but I'm gonna go with the Ravens. Baltimore Ravens. Out of the AFC. The Ravens finally they did win a playoff game. They beat Tennessee. Yeah, they did cross that hump.
Yeah.
I think Lamar, once again, he still has a lot to prove, and I think the team they've made some moves to give him more weapons. They drafted Rashad Bateman. They signed Sammy Watkins. They already had a set of good tight ends. They drafted the fullback. So I see the offense being a little bit more dynamic.
Who's the running back? Is it J.K. Dobbins? No, is it J.K. JK's with a...
Yeah, J.K. Dobbins. Yeah, it's J.K. Dobbins.
Okay.
Yeah, J.K. Dobbins is their tailback.
Ingram's out there, right?
Yeah, Ingram's gone.
Yeah.
He's gone. And you got J.K. Dobbins. Of course, you got Lamar. You know, obviously with his dual threat. So I think as long as Lamar stays healthy, no reason to think he won't. He's shown himself to be pretty resilient. I think he's going to have a better year passing because he has more weapons to throw to. So I see them upsetting the Chiefs. I see the Ravens having home field advantage and taking full advantage of it this year and making it to the Super Bowl just slightly over the Chiefs. Now, in the NFC, there ain't no way in fuck that the Buccaneers are going back to the Super Bowl. Ain't happening. Ain't happening.
I don't know, man.
It ain't happening.
Honestly, I'm waiting for the news to pop up on my screen now. Julian Edelman signs when your contract.
You know what? They can sign Julian Edelman, Danny Amendola, Wes Welker.
Wes Welker, fuck it, he's the coach.
The Buccaneers will not win the Super Bowl. They will not even make it to the they will not make it to the Super Bowl. They will. They won't even win the division. Okay.
Ooh, who do you think's gonna take that? The Saints?
The Saints.
No.
The Saints are gonna go marching in. The Saints are gonna go marching in.
Okay.
The Saints will win the NFC South. But my Super Bowl team out of the NFC, the Los Angeles Rams. They have a quarterback.
That's my number 2.
They have a quarterback. Yes.
That's my number 2 without a doubt.
Yes.
I think it's going to be the Rams and the Bucs in the NFC Championship, 100%.
Yes. The Rams. It'll be the Rams and the Saints. Again, a rematch. The Rams and the Saints.
I got Rams and Bucs. You got Rams and Saints.
Well, this time it'll be in L.A. though. They'll play the championship game in L.A. The Rams are going back to the Super Bowl. Matt Stafford.
Man, I love it. I love Stafford.
Yes. Matt Stafford versus Lamar Jackson in the Super Bowl. And the chip will go to the Los Angeles Rams because LeBron James is going to be at the game.
I like it. I'm not going to lie. I like it. I like it.
The Rams are obviously, they have a great defense and having consistent quarterback play. I think Matt Stafford will be the MVP of the league next year. I think that Sean McVay, everybody, they're all in on Matt. They have the weapons. They have weapons galore. So
they have to be. I mean, they went and made their mission to get Stafford.
Yeah.
They knew what they needed. They needed Matt Stafford.
And I mean, it is set up so perfectly. They will be the Buccaneers of this year because everything's set up perfectly. Having Tom Brady come to that team, we'll get the same type of effect, I think, with Matt Stafford and the Rams. The Rams will win anywhere from they will either win 14 or 15 games. They'll be 15-2 or 14-3. They will have home field advantage. And now my sleeper team, of course, will be the Cardinals. Somebody, a team out of the West is going to go to the Super Bowl. Either the Seahawks.
I believe so too. That is definitely the most competitive.
Oh yeah.
Division out there. Like it's not even close.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So that's my pick: Rams versus Ravens. You're picking. Okay, so I'm going R and R. You going B and B. So.
Correct. Yeah. I don't think the Ravens are going to make it that far. I think it's going to be the Bills.